All right, what is up, everybody? Here we are with Kerbal Space Program yet again. And go ahead and get started. Apparently I turned the menu music off. I didn't notice. Um, we're going to continue a save that I've been playing over the last couple of days. It's been keeping me up at night, literally. The night before, I was up all night doing this, and not this particular mission, thankfully, but I was doing it most of the day yesterday. So we're going to see if we can't finally complete this mission. We're going to Minmus, which, if you're unfamiliar with Kerbal Space Program, Minmus is Kerbin's second moon. It's the furthest away, but it is the easiest to land on. There's no real particular reason I chose Minmus to land, but that is where we're going to go. It's been kind of difficult getting a capture to Minmus. Awkward silence ensues. So yeah, how long have I been at this current mission? Way too freaking long. I've been trying to do this lander mission for who knows how many hours. I have no idea. I have everything pre-built. I'm not going to waste time trying to build something else, but I will load everything up just to show you in pieces what we've got, and I do want to make some minor changes. We'll start with the lander itself. That's not the lander that we're using. That was the first lander. I'll just go ahead and go over it. This was the first lander we used. It's sort of kind of tall. A Kerbal only fits on about maybe 2/3 of this round spot here. But we did have problems with this one. I do like all the lights that I had on here. We had some lights on the very bottom. We had some spotlights here looking the landing legs, sort of. We didn't put any lights on the top, but we might change that. But yeah, this was the first iteration. We'll open this. We have some science experiments batteries in here. The goo, multiple batteries, the thermometer, and the barometer. But the main problem we experienced with this thing is once we got everyone inside the pod, this thing wouldn't do anything. They could fly it. Well, I say they could fly it. They could activate the engines, and once we had some thrust, then we could move it, be able to actually steer the thing. But once there's no thrust, there's no steering, because there's no reaction wheels. There's no means for this thing to orient itself without thrust. So we had to throw this thing away just based on that. So, some other things, the ladder didn't really work very well. They couldn't go from this piece of the ladder to this piece of the ladder, and they couldn't go from this piece of the ladder to directly climb on the command pod. So yeah, we threw this one away. Also, it didn't have quite enough fuel. It had 736 meters per second of delta V, and again, for those that aren't very familiar with the game, that's how we measure how long we can use our engines, how much fuel we have. So for many reasons, this thing had to go. So that brought us to the Lander Mark II. Some problems with the Lander Mark II is that we still can't get from this part of the ladder to here, but I'm done worrying about it. It does, however, extend most of the way down, and I'm probably just going to go ahead and make it to where it extends. I'm not going to bother with it. There's a reason I didn't bother with it before. Some other changes we had to make to this thing. The other one didn't have these little pods right here, or these. This is RCS, this is Reaction Control System. Basically, when I'm trying to meet up with the command module in orbit of Minmus, I can use these to help move myself around so I don't have to turn the thing and use the main engines. We ditched the tiny tank on the bottom here in favor of a larger one, and then we put some solar panels on this thing because it's going to need it. I think the other iteration just had one solar panel. But we still have all our science experiments. This is also a science experiment. It was on the last one as well. But nothing changed other than the ladder. They still can't go from this piece to the pod. And they can't go from the ground to climbing on the ladder. They'll have to jump or something, but that's no problem. The landing legs just do extend past the nozzles of the engine. I did have to actually move them inwards quite a bit, so they're actually clipping into the tank here, but that's okay. But we're going to start those retracted. I do have decided I want more lights. I don't think we have any lights inside, and if we do, they're covered up by this battery. No, there's no lights inside, so we'll put that back. Oh, also, we've included some reaction wheels to this craft, so that way it will pitch itself around without the need of engines, as long as it has electricity, which it has the same amount of battery power that the last one had. It's way more than this thing will probably ever need. Of course, we have all the same science experiments, like I said. And we have antennas, which the last one had the antennas. The doors will clip these, but that's probably going to be fine. We're gonna add some lights, though. I have decided that I want some lights. We need a much smaller light, so we'll put a spotlight here on the bottom, I think, and we'll pitch it upwards. That's not really gonna work the way I want it to work. So how about this? We'll put the spotlight up here. Yeah, let's do that. So, where do I want to put this thing? Crap. I was gonna put some spotlights just on here somewhere to kind of illuminate the ladder and where they were going, but we're having some difficulties with that. This light is far too big to put up there, and it's gonna block them from getting in and out of the vehicle. Same thing with that. So if I wanted to, I could remove this. I could then put my spotlight right here and aim it straight down the ladder. Yeah, something like that probably. Then I could take my ladder segment and maybe get it back in its position. Wants to be super aggravating. Now, I did have to rotate and move it in, but as we've seen, as I already know, it doesn't really make any difference. We'll try and move this whole deal in a bit. We'll pull it down. We'll rotate it out slightly. We'll move it down some more. We'll pull it out a little bit. We'll move it. Oops. Move it down again. So what I'm trying to do is just make the transition easier. So hopefully they'll be able to grab onto the pod and all that stuff. We'll test it real fast. We've got 2 people inside. So we'll go ahead and click launch. It's going to put this thing on the launch pad. It's not going to go anywhere, but we'll be able to test whether or not the ladder works the way I want it to. It makes it way easier if the ladder works the way I want it to, please. If it doesn't, I'm not going to mess with it because it's not like we can't make it work the way we need it to, so no big deal either way. I'm going to try and keep the stream short, and by short I mean within 2 hours. I don't want to do this for longer than that, I guess we'll just stream the whole mission, but then I maybe can edit it for those who wish it was shorter. We will extend the landing legs to pick it up. It does. Oh, so it looks like it's still sitting on the engines because of the can I change that? Auto springs. Okay, so I could make the legs stronger, right? No. Or 0 strongest. So no matter what I do, the gravity here on Kerbin is a little too strong. We'll just set that to auto, and we'll see if we can change it on Minmus if we need to. We'll send Bill on an EVA. Bill is our scientist, and Bill cannot climb down the ladder. He can climb up, he can't climb down. He can't climb down in the slightest. So we're gonna have to just say forget it. We'll put Bill, oops. Put Bill back in, we'll recover the vessel, and we'll try. We'll just remove the ladder altogether, and we'll keep the light. Like I said, the ladder really doesn't help one way or the other. Probably help if I had an actual lander module. I don't know if I don't think I have one of those unlocked. That's why we did it this way. But I'll check. Oh, we'll go back here. Wish there was a way to test this in the assembly building. That way you didn't have to do this elsewhere. Any day now. If the graphics setting turned way up, and it might not seem like the graphics are that amazing, but once you're in space, it does look a million times better, just with how pretty everything is. But you also have to understand how much this game has to render. It's a lot. I'm gonna assume the light illuminates everything nicely. It's pointing down just like that, so I would love to say, oh, see, that's what we wanted to do right there. Select all of these lights. Oh. I'm so confused. That's why I don't play with those. Okay. This thing is good to go. We're just gonna save this. We're not gonna save that. We're going to. Ooh, we are gonna save this. Then we're gonna open the next part, just so I can show it. Mark II. We'll look at the Mark I, and we'll show why the Mark I didn't work. So this is the Mark I command module. This is the thing that the lander stays attached to. This also goes to Minmus, but it stays in orbit of Minmus, so that way the crew can come home in this. This is designed to come all the way home, which it can do. It does need more parachutes, I believe. because this parachute wasn't quite enough to bring everything back home in one piece. We only bring that home, I believe. So put that back on. This did not work because we didn't have the fuel required to do everything. I think I did have the fuel to do everything I needed to do and come home, but we cut it extremely close and I wanted a little more cushion. Also, these engines weren't as powerful as I liked them to be. As you can see, the whole vessel right now has a 0.37 thrust to weight ratio, and they're all at 100%, so this whole ship is a little too heavy. I think what I did, yeah, I want to say what I did is took the whole thing home with the lander, or no, I'm sorry. The lander's, no, what I did was I landed this whole thing with the lander. So lander is on the bottom, sitting on its landing legs as we saw before, but this is attached to the top, and yeah, we landed it just fine, but I think we might have burned through some of this fuel. Either way, I added fuel and more powerful engines on the new one. We've got more batteries in here, as well as I believe I added solar panels to this part. Didn't really think I needed them because I had them on the lander, but like I said, I made some changes. Battery here, battery here. This right here, tucked part halfway inside the command module here, is the experiment storage unit. That's what keeps all of our experiments safe, and that's how we bring them home while leaving the lander in orbit with all the experiments. We also put a reaction wheel in here because we need it with this pod, same pod as the other one. We put these wings up here so that way you would be able to ensure that we came down heat shield first. So another thing I want to do is add some lights to this. I think lights on here would be great. We're gonna put some red lights on the bottom. I think I'm also let's actually open up our new one, so we won't save anything on that. Control module Mark II, load. This is the new and improved. We actually did put solar panels on this as well as extendable ones. The reason we put these solar panels here while also having the extendable ones, and I guess I really don't need these. I don't need these big giant solar panels. How much do they weigh? Is it worth taking them off? These 0.4 tons versus 0.04 tons versus 0.005 tons. So we don't need these. There was 2 of them, so that was actually almost 1/10 of a ton. We don't need those because we can just orient this ship. But the reason I had them on there was so that no matter which way the ship was oriented, if the sun was shining this way, it would hit those solar panels, because with these extended, the sun's not going to hit those if the sun is shining this way, because sun rays only go straight on. It's not like the Earth where, well, maybe it would hit it. But anyway, we'll retract those. So yeah, we'll take those solar panels off. We don't need them because when everything's attached, and we're on the dark side of Minmus, we have enough battery power. And when we're on the dark side of Minmus, solar panels really don't matter anyway. So, well, yeah, we'll take those off. We'll save some weight. We'll save this in just a moment, but we're gonna add some lights before we save. We're gonna add some navigation lights. I know with aviation, you know, you have red lights on, I think the left side, right? Green lights on the right side. And with, I think you also put certain color lights on top and bottom. But for this, I'm just gonna put some red lights at the back because I'm a car guy and I don't care about aviation stuff as much. We're gonna change this to, yeah, that's what I want that to look like. It's just a truss structure instead of that ugly shroud. And I think I can now see, yes, I can see the navigation lights on the bottom, but they don't want to mount there or anything. Yeah, they don't want to mount there, but they want to mount here. So I will turn them around just like that. I'll put them on the edge here, just like that, and I'll make 4 of them, just like that. I'm gonna do the same thing for here. And unfortunately, I can only, oops, forgot to turn those bad boys around. Unfortunately, I can only do it this stupid way. So I'm going to go around and put them everywhere that I want them. Guess this doesn't, yeah, let's ditch the 4 light idea for a 2 light idea for these, because I don't feel like being aggravated that much. Yeah, it's even. There we go. We're gonna change these to red. We're gonna make them blink, half a second interval, blink on. I'm gonna do the same thing here, blink on, half a second interval, oops, 0.5. We're gonna make them red, so these should also be the same way because symmetry is on. Yes, they are. We're gonna make these red. We're gonna make them blink that often, turn that on. The lights will remain off because we want to toggle them on. There's no reason for them to be on when the whole thing is flying up. So we have those lights there. I'm curious. So I don't know how bright these are. They're 0.15 tons. Mark 1 and 2. The 2 is just square. I don't know how bright these are. I don't know if I can angle them either. No. Can't angle them. I can spin them around with the rotate tool, but I'm not going to do that. Also, don't need those. There's no need for them, honestly. Two-way symmetry for those. We'll pitch them downwards to shine at our boosters. We want to see them even in the dark. I don't know how long the boosters will stay attached. So right now, for those wondering what this is for, that is for fuel flow, designed to flow fuel from this side into this side. Same thing on the back side of this, from this tank into this center. So that way, fuel constantly feeds into the center tank as all 3 engines run, keeping the center full. That way, when these 2 are ejected, the center is full instead of partially emptied. You do it that way. I'll show you why. I think if we take this off, that number is going to change. So we have 797 meters per second of delta V versus when I put that on, we get 893. So we get 100 delta V just by having those attached. Now that's at curb and altitude. That's at sea level. In the vacuum, 3,026 meters per second of delta V. We take that off 3,200, so that gives us 400 more delta V just by having a fuel line route fuel into the center. One thing I could do, which doesn't matter, but I could change the flow priority to drain out of, let's move this down. Say we wanted to drain fuel out of this tank first. We'll leave that at 20, then this tank follows suit. Set that at 19. Top one set to 18, and then this one 17. So fuel would now flow from this tank, then this tank, then this top tank, then this center tank. I think that mirrored also. Yes. Then we'll set that at, have that at 10. Have that one at 9. Have that one at 8. I don't think that matters, but that just means that fuel's going to flow from here first, then here, then up here. But anyway, that's not going to matter. That only matters for vessels that are entering an atmosphere and gravity and all that stuff, because it affects your center of mass. It won't matter here. This thing will only be in space, and it'll be roughly empty when it comes home. The two side pieces won't be coming home anyway, and we'll try and empty this out before we bring it down, and it's going to be detached anyway, so it doesn't matter. So there's that. These will be extended, so clipping won't be a problem. Clipping isn't a problem when they're deploying and undeploying, I don't believe, but clipping becomes a problem when we're trying to detach things. And it won't be a problem at all, because this little shroud will just disappear. That's just to cover up the fact that there's nothing holding this on except the game physics. What else? I believe we talked long enough. We're gonna open the, we're gonna actually save. Are we done adding lights? I don't think so. We got lights there, shining on that. We got the red lights on the back there. I could have lights shining back up to the pod too, and that's not a bad idea. I just wish that they were not on those ends, because this is where the people come in and out of. So I could put a little truss structure on here if I moved this down. Yep. And then we'll put truss structure. By the way, these lights weigh literally nothing, so we're gonna be lighter overall than with all that stuff we had on. Yeah, this stuff makes a big difference when you're considering all this space travel and whatnot. I could put this further towards the back. Why don't I do that? Yeah, I think I want my solar panels down here instead of up there. It doesn't matter where they're at, but I think I want them further down. I think I want this further down. Yeah. And then we will... If you didn't have flow priority, it would all drain at the same rate. But I'll put that on the bottom. It really doesn't matter. Put these down so I can mount the lights further down. I'll put a truss structure. So if we go to structural, yeah, we want the cubic octagonal strut because it's small. It will attach just like that. We're gonna put it up here a ways. And this is just so we have light shining where the crew is actually going to be coming out. We could actually run this out quite a bit. And annoyingly, it doesn't attach on there like I want it to. How heavy is this? 0.1. Golly! This is also small, not very heavy. Maybe I want to do this. I don't know. Let's just like see what it does. It doesn't affect our delta V horribly. Why am I considering this? Well, it's just to put solar panels up on this instead, because they'll catch more sun that way, I believe. So not only can they just can't catch the sun if it's faced this way, but it doesn't matter. I can orient it however I want. So I really should work. I shouldn't care about any of this crap. I don't need a billion solar panels. I just need the 2. I don't even need the 2, dude. I could do without that. I could just glue solar panels on this thing and be fine. Thinking this thing's gonna come home. Do I really even need the? How heavy are these? I like the deployable ones because they're cool. But now I'm actually thinking about weight. Five of these equals 1 of these. Outputs 0.3. So these generate better electricity, but I think we're just gonna stick these on it. We'll stick 4 of them around. Yeah, that's what we'll do. So we'll take and put 4 of those on here. That way 2 of them are probably catching some sun at any given time. That's lighter than just 1 of those extendable ones. Do we care how high they go? Not really. Doesn't matter. So we'll put that there. So we need solar panels on this thing. Not really, but now I'm just, do we even need these? That's what I'm trying to think about. Streaming helps because then I can talk to myself and say that I'm talking to you guys when really I'm not. We're gonna keep, I'm wasting so much time worrying about something that doesn't matter. I don't even need these solar panels because we have retractable ones on the lander, but I don't want to retract those until I'm actually on the surface, unless I just need more juice. So we'll put those 4 there. And now we'll get our lights. That's what we came to do. And we'll get our structural, our octagonal strut here. So we can put there. We've got 2-way symmetry. We'll take these lights, spotlights. We'll take the spotlights and we'll put it right there. If I turn it on, does it shine? Yeah. Would I like to have them further away? Yeah, but that should be okay because it serves the purpose I want to serve, which kind of shows me my Kerbal better when he's trying to board. I do kind of want to kick that out further, so let's take and get another strut. And oh, yep, there it is. Try and line this up the best we can. That's perfect. That's actually legitimately perfect. I don't really care how dumb it looks. I'm gonna stick that light out far. Now if I turn the pitch angle inward slightly, it really doesn't make any difference. Also, I could aim them out, so yep, we get plenty of light on there doing that. I can pitch it in. Pitch it out, it doesn't make any difference. So we'll keep that there. We'll keep it shining. So our craft's illuminated nicely. And we have the lights at the back. Kind of makes me want to move this whole thing down, just so I get more light. What if I move this fuel line up here? Does that block the light? There is light that gets shined on that, so actually just keep that down here. Ooh, can I? Yeah. Let's put that there. If I can put the other side right there. So that way you you don't even know this is here. Beautiful. Feels like it's not even there. That's awesome. Okay, now I think we're happy with this. Other than moving the lights down. The reason I'm going to move the lights down is so I can see more of my ship. Yeah. If we move the pitch angle inwards, it changes nothing about what all we see up there. So I'll actually just pitch them all the way in. I'm going to see the same amount of the command module, that's why or the command pod, that's why we put that up here. Actually, I think it fades out. Here I go again. I need somebody in the chat to tell me that I'm wasting my time worrying about this stuff. Alright, so I think now we're gonna take a break, and I'm gonna go get something to drink because I'm thirsty. Okay, now that I think I'm happy with this, we're gonna go ahead and save it. We're gonna call this Mark III because we made quite a few changes. Oh, parachutes. We need to add parachutes. Why do we need to add parachutes? Because this thing lands a little too hard. I could add landing legs. Just had a stupid idea. Yeah, I can't remember. So I've done this mission like 10,000 times, and I think one of those times I actually landed this thing. And I can't remember if I only lost the heat shield. I think that's all I lost, but I can't remember. So to err on the side of caution, we need to have more parachutes. Can't put it up there because we'll be docking. The radial mounts are the way to go, but they're so big. But I think they'll work. I don't think they're so big that I couldn't say put 4 of them and not be able to do the things I need to do. I don't need 4 of them, but that's just the point I'm trying to make here. So let's take this one. I flipped it 2-way symmetry. Oops. Said flipped it 2-way symmetry. I'm gonna do that right there. I kind of want to move them in slightly, because it looks silly to have them stick out that far. I think that's okay. Yeah, I think I like that. I think that's okay. That way part of the command pod kind of keeps the heat off of it. Okay. Should I test to see if it works? Something tells me I should. Save, launch. Mark III has been completed, I think. Any day now. If you'd like to skip directly to the mission, just join me 10 minutes from now. Alright. So... Ooh, those lights look good. So we can see just enough. The red lights, I'm sure, look nice too, but... These... Okay, so... They're not really brightening anything up there, because they're too far away. Just won't worry about that right now, because we're here to test parachutes. I wonder if it takes off. Does it take off? No. And the engines are at 100%. Thrust to weight is pitiful. Won't even take, the center part won't even take off. But I'm here to test the parachutes. They, of course, won't fire. Great. Deploy them now. Alright, well I guess I have to be moving to deploy those. Can I, hey, there we go. Oh. Oh God. Let's just back up real quick. I just gotta know. I failed so many times. I literally have been at this one mission for hours, and I've gotten so far. Just have to start over for dumb stuff. So I would rather know. I would rather know. I don't know what spread angle does, but I'm gonna put it at 10. Why not? Now, just a minute ago, I tilted it. Do I have to have engines fired up or something? That helps. Okay. They deploy, and the thing is still going. Alright. We'll go back to the assembly building, and then I'll finally stop. I'll finally stop doing this crap. So now we will be happy with this. We're going to close this actually, and we're going to turn all our lights off. I am curious though. I should stop. But I'm curious to what a we'll go with the we'll go with the we'll go with this one. I'm gonna rotate it. I just want to know what it'll do. So turn that on. It's all right. Let's try it. I can't stop myself. I can't. I need to just go start the mission. I can't. I need to get this done. Come on. Okay. So, still pretty dim. I really thought the... Ooh, no. I think I have light strips. Oh, come on. I've already saved the ship. I do think I have light strips. I do have light strips. They're very light. Oh, they're way lighter than anything else. if I put a light strip on here? Oh. Well, I think I just found what I wanted to use. It's not like any one part puts more light anywhere. The light strip is nice though. No, I don't need that. That's cool. Okay, like I said, this has already been saved, so that's good to go. I think I put lights on the lander. Yeah, the lander's got lights on it now, or a light. It's got all those lights. It'd be nice to have a light that shines up, though. Guess it doesn't matter because I'm gonna be doing the mission in the daytime. So maybe I just don't worry about it. I could put lights on. Yeah. Put lights on the RCS thing here. Pitch that in. Yeah. Yep. That's beautiful. Okay. Now, do I need to do this anywhere else? Do I need these solar panels mounted that low? There's a reason we mounted them that low. It's the Science Junior. They are high enough, so forget it. Alright, we're gonna call this the Mark III then. I needn't worry about that. We have plenty. Save. Okay. So it's saved. It's the way we want it. We got our lights. Oh, we're gonna turn the lights off. Save. Okay. Make sure we got everything in here. Yes. Save. Okay. Now we're gonna get started. We're gonna pull the MCM launch vehicle. That is the booster and all, everything. Oh no, that's not what we want. That was the old one. We want... If I didn't save that son of a gun, I'm gonna be mad. I didn't save it. I didn't... Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I just didn't save it here, so... Okay. We're gonna reassemble this. So we're actually gonna open... Don't save. Let's open the Mark II lander. Yep, it's got our lights and everything on it that we need. Actually, if we go to sub-assemblies, I think everything's in there. It is. Just saved it in the wrong place. Load. Reroute. Make that the root part. There we go. We can drag this into the sub-assembly zone. Call it this lander should easily work at the moon too, so save. Now what we're gonna do is flip it around. Yes. Oh no, bad. Get our Mark III. Flip it around. Good. Open. Oh, that's why. Okay. We're gonna oh. Start with our Mark. No. Start with our Mark III. Piece right here. Close that. Got our lights on it. We actually need to turn off. Off. It's off. All the lights are off. We can't fit any light. Well, we can fit lights in here, and I'm gonna put lights in there too because I don't want to be in this situation where I can't see anything. Those lights are facing the wrong way. Still facing the wrong way. Yes. Light on. Okay, we can see everything in there just fine. Off. Close the doors. Save. Now, we'll start with this. Everything else is saved in the sub-assembly list. So we get our Mark III lander, flip it around, attach it there. Mark III lander's in, ready to go. It's got all the lights on it. Everything's good. We're gonna add some navigation lights on the red lights on the bottom. So if we're ever in a situation where we can't see, we have lights. Probably be a good idea to put some lights on the top too. Navigation will make them blue or something. I don't know. Yeah, that's good right there. No, it's not. Two-way symmetry then. Don't need four. Okay. Lights are red. They blink. Great. Now then, let's focus on the things that matter the most. Parachutes on there, yes. Everything's on the lander. We checked it. We check that. Yes, everything is correct here. You know what I do want to do? I'm gonna put some ox stats here also. So that way the lights will always work. So even when they're floating in space, it can be easily seen. I'm tempted to put lights on the front. I'm gonna put lights on the front. I'm also gonna put lights... Oh, dang. Yeah. I'm so sick of changing everything right now, I swear. Everything last minute change. How big are these? We'll keep these two-way. Turn them on. So I can see the docking port. Like a blue, maybe? Or yellow? Yellow looks good. No, I'm gonna change that to the spotlights. Two-way. Pitch them inwards to see the target that I'm trying to link up with. Yes. Spotlights will also go on that portion. We'll tilt those inward. 25 degrees. Negative 25 degrees. Turn that on so we can see what we're docking with. Okay, lights all off. Great. That is perfect. Now then, we can check. Let's get the booster on. That much closer. We're actually gonna put the booster on. MCM booster. Go over the booster very shortly here as I try to make sure it's all correct. It is. Everything is still fine. So the booster encapsulates everything, and we've got some wild mess going on down here. Now, all of these engines all fire to begin with, and then this engine fires later. I do want to do my trick. I'll tell you what I want to do. I want to put that down to like... Actually, no. We want that to be 100 for that. This can be... Oh, it's already at 30. We can do 20, I think. So we're going to do our fuel line thing that we did earlier. Try and tuck these up under here. We want to tuck them for drag purposes. Don't want the drag of this vessel to be outrageous. Aerodynamic drag is the devil. So if we put that stuff there, not only is it hidden, but we shouldn't have as much drag. Not that it matters, because I know this works. I've done this 10,000 times. One thing I would like to do though is move these down. So I think I'll do that. Move that down slightly. Yep. And we'll move it. Ooh. As long as it's attached, that's all I care about. We'll move this whole unit down. Yep. I can move the entire contraption upwards. Move that up on that. Click on this again and move this down 2 click. Oh, we're gonna move it down a lot now. Beautiful. Okay, that looks way better. Oops. Let's place tool again. We'll check all of this on the gimbal limit at like 50, I think. The gimbal limit here to be about 50, I think. Oh, let's not forget the right side gimbal, and we want the gimbal limit here to be about 60. There's so much gimbaling going on. I like that. What can I do here? Yeah, I can delete those. Yep, I like that better. Four. Save. And is it necessary to have lights on all of this? I would say no. I will put some lights maybe at the bottom end of it all. No, I will not. I will not be doing that. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into this. Let's finally complete this mission. No more stakes. None. I'm declaring it now. We're going to get this done. Minmus mission. Let's go. No more changes. No more goofing off. We're doing it. Doing it. We're going to space. Right now. As soon as this game loads. Takes forever. Come on. Okay. Here we are on the launch pad. It's nighttime. We do have one light on the launch pad, helping us see a little bit. Everything looks okay. You're never gonna see a rocket on a launch pad. Oops. If I could just... Oh, crap. Didn't mean to do that. If I could just move the whole deal up, like the camera up. Camera needs to go up. I think I can use the arrow keys to do that. No. Oh, it turns the camera. I don't want to move the camera around. V toggles camera. Okay. Just go. I'm tired of goofing off. We're gonna turn our stability assistance system on. That looks good. So one thing that doesn't look good is that these 4 engines need to be moved down. That's actually, is that correct? This should be turned all the way down along with this. I still have engines here. Nope, they're all turned down. Okay. So now we have the thrust weight to get off the pad. We'll have the thrust weight to clear everything just fine. So one thing I will do though is put that at 50. Didn't change a whole lot. Okay, it's fine. Yeah, everything is ready to go. Just gonna make sure and do this thing at nighttime. And let's fire. All right, finally up in the air. Finally we're going somewhere. Look at all that fire. We're gonna hit, well, we'll go ahead and pitch over now. I think it's okay. Follow our prograde vector. That's that little green mark right there. It looks like that. Now we're gonna just fall over. Hold on. I'm not doing this again. Yeah, we're going up. Everything's correct. We're falling over a little bit too fast. So we're gonna lock that where it is. In a minute you'll hear some explosions. That's gonna be that debris hitting the ground. We're gonna, ooh. It's having a hard time holding where it is. So we're not going to make our adjustment to get back on a 90-degree heading just yet. Without that center engine, we can turn the gimbal limit back up, but it's not gonna. It did affect all of them, okay. We're throttled down heavily. We're gonna adjust that prograde marker, keep it on regular assist. We're gonna move back up here. We're okay to fall over. We're gonna go and switch it to orbit. Try and get that vector right where we need it to be. We're gonna lock this again. I'm gonna full throttle. Oh! I was supposed to have the center engine on this whole time. Yeah. Alright. No. I'm gonna try and save it. We have a lot left. 70% thrust limiter. Let's go 100% thrust limiter. That's picking it back up. Yep. We're not maxing out. She is trying to yaw out a bit. We're not maxing out. Yaw is the control that's moving us up or down. Oh, we can cut throttle now. Flip to prograde. That's going to help the yawing situation. Oh, dang. Hard for this craft to pitch itself, by the way. It's heavy. Only got little bitty reaction wheels. It does have two, I think, that are activating. But the engine does hold it on its vector very well. We're going to burn very slowly. Always nice to take your time. Not overdo anything. Screw it, I'm going to overdo it a little bit. We're going to turn her up. We like to try and keep this below a minute. The time to reach apoapsis, that's your highest point. Periapsis being the opposite, the lowest point. But we're going to go ahead and let it do what it do. Get it up to our target 80 kilometers. We'll flip to map view. We'll set a maneuver right here at our apoapsis, our highest point, and we'll set that to burn prograde, which is the direction of travel. That's what prograde means. When you drive your car, you drive it straight. That is your direction of travel. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, the direction of vehicle travel. So if you could, if you were to be able to, if you were to drift and do a 180, but you're still traveling in the same direction, then you're facing retrograde, which is the opposite direction of travel. So yeah, we've got a 2-second burn. Whoa. Okay, so what we're gonna do now, I'm gonna turn our thrust limiter down to like 6. We just want to get the burn time to be a little longer. It's a very small, very, very small burn at 37 meters per second. That's how you measure thrust, I believe, meters per second. So we'll gain, what is that? Anyway, I'm not going to sit here and try to explain stuff I don't fully understand, but we'll leave that there. 54-second burn is good. We cannot time warp because we are too high. We're still in Kerbin's atmosphere. That will change once this number hits 70 meters, 70,000 meters, 70 kilometers. Oh, you can't change that number. Oops. We could turn our lights on, but of course everything's shrouded. Turn that back off. Turn our lights on after we ditch this large booster here. Here's a look at our information, our resources. We have plenty of electric charge. Of course, nothing's getting recharged. This engine does charge everything up. So when this engine is running, it charges everything. Every other engine on the vessel does not do that. So we're going to need our solar panels to charge everything. Have a couple contracts we're trying to do. We have transmit or recover scientific data from space around Minmus. I thought that was Kerbin, but it doesn't matter. We will be doing that once we get around Minmus. Then we have explore Minmus, go on an orbital spacewalk near Minmus, transfer any crew between vessels near Minmus. All of those three items are necessary for what we're doing anyway. We're going to be going a step further today by actually landing on Minmus again. We've done this before, but it was not a complete success. We landed, we did all of that stuff, but we did not complete everything we set out to do. So that's what we're doing here. We're doing a Minmus landing mission. That's what our goal is today. Land on Minmus with only our lander. Run some experiments, because all the experiments we tried to run the last time we did this, they're still down there. We could gather the data, but we're just going to do them again. It'll be easier. Then we want to bring the lander back up. We can deploy that. Then we want to bring the lander back up, rendezvous with the command module, and then bring the command module home, leave the lander in orbit. Our previous lander is on Minmus, so with our little Minmus science base. Just have 3 minutes till our burn. I can't see anything, so I tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna turn our lights on. Should be all of the lights. Those flash. The ones back here don't. Can we make them flash? Yeah, they're supposed to flash. There we go. All of our lights are enabled. And I do think it looks pretty nice with all the lights on. We also have some exposed solar panels, so as the lights burn, we will recharge once we can see the sun with our solar panels. We see it now. I don't think the solar panels see it well enough, though. We could warp to our burn, but we're pretty close anyway. Just want to run some experiments, make sure that we haven't missed any. We missed in space near Kerbin, so we're going to save that. We're going to transfer the data to here. Can't open the doors. Now I can open the doors and see my unit, now I can actually transfer that. I can click on where I'm transferring it to. There we go. So that experiment has been stored. That module is inoperable, and we don't have our scientist. Okay, we have to go back. We have to go back to vehicle assembly. Everything went so smooth. Fairly smooth. Alright, we had to stop. We had to go back in time because we've screwed up majorly. We had an engineer on board, and engineer is no good to reset science experiments. It put the engineer in by default. I could take the engineer with us. The engineer just can't go to the surface. I don't see a need for the engineer to come with us. I see a need for Valentina to come with us. So how about that? No. The reason we don't send 3 people is because 3 people can't come back. So, scientist. I would love for Valentina to be able to come on this mission, but she can't. There's no room for her to come back. And I don't want to leave my poor scientist all alone on Kerbin. Oh, gosh. I could... No. I was gonna say I couldn't leave the scientist on the surface with the base, but I don't want to do that. Okay. Save. I don't know if saving makes any difference. Dollar light still, right? Yeah. I don't know if saving matters with the crew. This is really annoying. I'm already an hour and 30 into the stream and I haven't done anything. Oh shoot. Oh shoot. So let's do this again. One thing I want to do is I want to move that down there. Alright, we'll go to launch. Everything needs to be left alone. I need to... we'll recheck our gimbal limits. Gimbal at 50, gimbal at 60. I know we're going to want to turn these up because it had trouble. So I'll turn that up to 70. I just don't want it turned up too high. Because when they're turned up too high, it goes to doing too crazy of things. Okay. Ready to fire. Launch in 3. Alright, let me back up. Okay, this is take 2. Because we've already tried to do this once. And when I edit everything, okay. Give me just a second. Just 1 second. Hmm. All right. So we're gonna try this again and take off. Again, looking very good on ascent. I don't know if I talked much about this, but that keeps everything covered up so that way aerodynamics don't. The aerodynamics of everything under this doesn't affect how this thing goes up, and definitely would. because of course all of that stuff is not very aerodynamic, and also all of that stuff would most definitely be destroyed. Alright, I heard 2 activations, but I only pressed the button once. So we are going up, up, up. We're going up way too fast. But the engine's gimbal enough that we have plenty of room on our yaw to play around, and that is changing quite quickly. It's not maxed out. It will not become maxed out. Okay. Well, I say that. The faster we go, the harder it is. What happened is I pitched over way too much. You see, y'all still not maxed out. Air's too thick. We'll keep it right there. That gauge should start falling shortly. I'm spending too much time worrying about this when I shouldn't be, but it's okay. So this isn't very efficient because we've spent too much fuel. Alright, it's coming back down now. Spent too much fuel trying to point upwards. And I'll back this down. Alright, we're golden. I'm gonna go ahead and flip to orbit here. We're at 45 seconds and falling. Pick up a little bit. And we're having trouble because this engine did not activate like it should have. Alright. We're about to lose these boosters, and they're gone. Nice slow fall away. That's what I wanted. They'll turn back. And now we are, not only are we not going fast enough, we need to up the thrust quite a bit, I believe. Should be okay. It's not. It is very much not. Yep, let's pitch ourselves up towards the sky. Let's do it some more, shall we? Let's kick to 100. That should actually solve all of our problems. All the power. So another messy launch, but we're gonna live with it. We've got Jebediah and Bob. There we go. Nice. Back on prograde. We'll stay locked there. Kick it down to 1/3 power. No, I'm ready to get this done. Come on. We're also bringing our periapsis up. It's climbing very quickly. Apoapsis is starting to run away. Want it to be at 80 for a nice low Kerbin orbit. There we go. That's fine. We got 7 minutes to Apoapsis, where we will set a maneuver node. is like we've already done, well, 10 million times. We've done it once already in the stream. We'll raise periapsis to match apoapsis, get as close to perfectly circular as we can. It's not going to be perfect, but we'll get close. All right. We're at a 2-second burn with our full power engine. 6% thrust limiter. Once we get into space, we're going to warp up to space is what we're going to do. Once we get in space, we'll run our experiments real fast. We'll see if we can EVA and reset them. Just so we can get some stuff knocked out of the way. Actually, I think we'll EVA once we get circular. We'll stage. There goes the fairing. Lights. All of our lights have activated. Even the ones at the back, I believe, are on. Yeah. These come on? Yes. I think we'll actually angle these outward a bit. Yeah, so that way I can see where my landing legs are about to touch. And we'll adjust them later on. So we can conduct our material study because there's still science to be had in low Kerbin orbit. We'll keep that. Do our goo. I think there's still science to be had there. Yes, we'll keep that. We'll transfer the goo to here. Remove the data from the goo, transfer to here. Move that data. All items are stored. Wonderful. So now all that's been done. We could EVA Bob in our 2.5 minutes. I think we just will go ahead and EVA Bob right now and do that. We'll also put him in here when we get done. I think there's an EVA experiment for him to run also. Oh, I need that EVA back. Okay. Let's turn RCS back on. There we go. So all we're concerned with Bob doing right now is restoring this. Restore this. I think there's... So we'll put his parachute in here. He's not going to need his parachute. Also take one of those experiments. Yes. Let go. EVA report. Keep. EVA science. He's gonna spin that thing there, that wing nut, and spinning that wing nut is really cool because that wing nut will stay there. And I don't know if we're gonna be able to see that wing nut in our tracking station later, but we will indeed see that wing nut for as long as it's visible. Get over here. There we go. We want him to board. Yes. Okay, we're 22 seconds. That took a lot longer than I thought it would. But no matter. Oops. Remember, this thing is super heavy, so without the engine running, it has a very hard time moving. But we'll fire the engine now. Get that oriented where we want it. It's also probably kind of wobbly. Okay. It's actually a very nicely circulated orbit there. So we're gonna review our stored data. Actually first. Both of those experiments can be transmitted. They will get transmitted right now. Turn the lights on that too. We are going to extend all of our antennas now. All we had to do was hit transmit, and whatever antenna needed extended would have been extended for the transmission itself. But review transmit. I think. Okay, so the high gain antennas are taking care of it. The ones we just extended. Actually used a good bit of electric charge doing that. I don't have any more experiments to transmit. Let's try a crew report. Reset that because no science came from that. We've done that enough. Next thing to do is going to be to find Minmus. It's over here. I should have it memorized by now, or set it as the target. One thing we certainly want to do, we can do it anywhere. We'll just turn, prograde, we'll burn, lose the large piece, so it's easier to turn and make all these maneuvers. And we're just gonna fire off so we get to about 250 meters per second. Come on, let's go. Yep, that's good. I'm gonna come to our apoapsis here. I want to go over 275. Yep. And we'll warp there. So you see our solar panels are doing their job, but it's very slow because there's not many. But it's okay. Get this bad boy turned around. We'll time warp a little bit. That's good. And we're set. So we'll just go ahead and hit it. We'll burn up all the fuel. And that's going to get us part of the way to Minmus. All right. Throttle back down. Yep, everything looks good. And we're going to decouple that. So previously we decoupled this and this, but there's no need to do that, and we can just uncouple the whole piece. Save ourselves some debris to remove later. Now that that's done, oops. We can say goodbye to our booster, the last remaining piece. So what I'm not sure about, I'm gonna play around for a second. I know I can... Okay, yeah. Cancel that. So, first things first, we need to make an inclination change. It means we need to take our orbit and tilt it to match our target where we're going. That is achieved by clicking right here, adding maneuver, and burning north relative to Kerbin in a what's called normal direction. Yep. Perfect. So it's 209 meters per second to do that. I think we over budgeted for sure, but that's how much that is. 19 seconds to do it. And that's with everything at 100%. So what if we put everything at like 50? So what if we put these two at 50? Deactivated. That's not even activated. So we'll activate this engine, activate that engine. Let's... Yep, that's fine. Ooh, hey, we gotta turn normal immediately. We're gonna miss. Alright. Fire it off. Run our two outboard engines in a normal direction. I hope we get our desired inclination. Turn that off so I can watch it. I don't know that we're gonna get what we're looking for. Yeah, we're not. Started too late, I think. Being at the ascending node, the AN, we're going to need to burn anti-normal, so it's south relative to Kerbin. Cool. So we'll go ahead and turn anti-normal. The reason we're doing this is so that we're more likely to get a capture around Minmus. We're going to activate this engine shut down our outside engines. And we'll turn the thrust limiter down to next to nothing. Such a small burn. Yeah, we're still reading the outside engines too, so we'll turn the limiters down on those. Oh no! 5-minute burn, that's not gonna work. 3 seconds, that's also not gonna work. Looking for like 30 seconds maybe. Yeah, I'm not looking to be dead on. 30 seconds, it's fine. I think we lost a lot of electric charge being on the dark side of Kerbin like that. Time warp to start burn time. Stop there. Alright, we're already 2 hours into this and we haven't done anything. We are not even at Minmus. But that'll happen very quickly. So any second now, this thing is gonna begin to flip. It's at 0. We're gonna keep burning until it flips. Yes. There we go. I'm happy with that. Now we're almost dead on. About as close as we're going to get to dead on. Now the next thing we can do... Actually... Yeah, let's go ahead and do this, because it... Oops. We want to add a maneuver and see... Get ourselves right there close to Minmus's orbit. Where's Minmus? Over there. So we want to be... That's money. We're going to be moving really quickly. It looks like... So now we need to get focused back on Kerbin here. Oops. Great. Okay, so... Oops. Don't want to add a maneuver. There we go. Just move this around. So what I want to do is move it around until right there. That's about what I want. I want the intersect points to be where up here, it's right here. Because that means I can come around the back side. I'll be going as slow as possible. There we go. Again. If it looks like I'm being very careful on how much fuel I use, it is accurate. I want as much fuel as I can possibly have at the end of this thing. I know what I could do. Let's burn radially in. Oh, it doesn't. That's the side I want to come around, yes. I want to get close. I want to just go ahead and get very close. 20 is perfect. Okay, that can't be done any better. We're going to warp to our maneuver. We're going to activate all 3 engines until we get a manageable burn. Thinking maybe around 2 minutes to burn. So once we get in Minmus's sphere of influence, it's going to be really, really tight. So activate both outside engines. Actually, will we? Let's shut them down. And do it all with the center one. These engines are real powerful, so. What do we get when we max it? Yeah, that's good. We do all our upkeep stuff. We're still close to Kerbin, so I know are we close to Kerbin though? We're high over Kerbin now, so we're gonna recheck all of our experiments. We're gonna keep the goo, do a material study. Let's keep that. We'll run the thermometer. Aim our camera down here so it's easier. We'll log the temperature. There's nothing to really do there. Log pressure. Nothing there. I think this is biome specific, if I'm not mistaken. Nope, it's not. Okay. Can we do a crew report? Already been done. We'll EVA Bob. Can Bob do an EVA report? He can, but there's nothing to gain. have Bob perform EVA science high above Kerbin now. Pretty sure we've already done this. Oh, we haven't done this yet. You see the wingnut bounced off the ship and now it's tumbling away. Okay. Too far away to reset anything. So in, grab a hold, reset. Oh, did I transfer this stuff? I don't know if I did. I don't think I did. I think I ran these experiments. I'd never transferred them. So we'll keep that. Transfer the data to... I don't know how many experiments this thing holds. Well, we're gonna find out today. Transfer that experiment. Okay, everything's been stored. 14 minutes to burn, so we have plenty of time to EVA Bob again and have him reset that stuff. He's too far away to do that here, and he's too far away to do that. RCS Bob. Grab onto the ladder. Climb down the ladder, and he can get everything now. It resets both of those. Let's go. Goes up to grab onto that, and then he boards. Okay. Now we can review our EVA science experiment, and we can go ahead and transfer that. And we're done transferring that. We have less than 1,000 electrical units and dropping at just under half every second. That's because we don't have any sunlight. That's okay, because we're gonna warp to our maneuver, and it's gonna continue to drop until now. Face prograde, because that's roughly where we're going to be burning, in that direction. So we'll have plenty of time to recharge once we are heading to our destination. Only the central engine is burning, and again, you got fuel flowing in from the outside tanks. So we have tons of fuel. 2,100 meters per second. That's way more than enough, because this 700 is going to get us to where we're going, and it's going to take a lot less than that to get us home. Oh, we gotta burn. Oh gosh. Alright. It's okay that we're a little late. Once we get really close, we're gonna close this out. About 100 meters per second left, we'll close that out. In the weightlessness of space, they're pulling less than 1 G. It's cool. I wonder if you can pull negative Gs. I imagine not. Look at the engine beginning to glow. It's getting nice and hot. No, that really makes a difference. Like I said, these engines don't recharge the electricity on board. Don't recharge the batteries, but we're getting some sun exposure on that panel right there. Getting very little on that panel right there. Getting quite a bit on that panel. How are we doing? We need a yaw there. Oh, that's pitch. Let's pitch now. That would be yaw otherwise. Yaw if we were level with the ground. 200 meters per second burn left. How are we looking? Not there yet. Like I said, the final adjustments will be made, but probably inside 60 or 50. Come on, where's that encounter? Ooh, we just missed it. I'm gonna burn retrograde just slightly. Yeah. We can adjust. Well, I can adjust right now. Now we'll adjust in a minute. No, I guess I'll just adjust right now. It's fine. Make that minuscule. Spin around. And we're locked. There we go. Don't really want to get any closer than that. Turn that back up to 100. It's a shame I really didn't use the other engines, but it's okay. All right, so really only one thing left to do. And that is enter the sphere of influence for Minmus because we've already got high space above Kerbin. So we'll warp. Look at that, our electric charge filled right back up. Goodbye, Kerbin. And where's Minmus? I think it's that one. Yep. It's the one that's getting ever closer. And we are not quite in the sphere of influence, I think. Hang on. Okay. I got scared because I didn't see the line anymore, and I was like, or I guess our orbit got screwed up, but it's there. We're now in Minmus's sphere of influence. Time to periapsis, 2 hours. So we have 2 whole hours until we get to our lowest point. We're charging up our batteries about a quarter a second. We're gonna crew report high over Minmus, and we're gonna keep that because we're probably going to have other experiments in just a minute. We'll keep that. Conduct material study. We'll keep that, and let's not forget to transfer, because I almost forgot. Transfer that. EVA Bob. This is our experiments, by the way, over Minmus that we needed. We can't do EVA science until Bob gets off of the ship there, and now we can perform the EVA science. Look at it go. We can keep that. We'll go right back towards the ship. We'll try not to hit our... Oh, we hit our wing nut anyway. It's okay. It's still spinning. We bumped it, I think. We can restore that. Can also restore our goo. Now Bob can go back where he belongs. Back into the lander. We can't board anymore, so grab, back up, board. I don't remember if I did our pressure scan. I think I tried it and we already had done it. Yes. I think I tried this. We already did it. Yes. Don't have any more experiments to do here. So we'll collect all data. We'll review all data. We'll transmit that one. Keep 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 that one. Transmit that one. Review, make sure that there's nothing else we need to transmit. Nope. Okay. That should have satisfied, yep, our transmitter recovers scientific data from Minmus. Great. Okay, Kerbin, way off in the distance over there, we can see the Mun, but our interest is Minmus, and it's crazy that how small Minmus is because they look the same size from here. Now all that's left is to set up a maneuver at the Minmus periapsis. We're gonna burn. Oops. Ooh, way too far. We're gonna burn retrograde and circularize. I think 20 is low enough for low space around Minmus. We've just done high space around Minmus. 31 seconds is fine. We're gonna time warp to our maneuver. We're coming in. Coming in close. There we are. So we've time warped to our maneuver here. We're going to point retrograde. And in 40 seconds we'll start burning. Our vessel's oriented in the correct position. And now we wait. So we're actually about to go almost right over our previous ship. And once we get into low space, we'll take a look at, or once we get into an orbit, we'll take a look at that. We'll rename that because that needs to be something different now. I think our ship now is called the same thing. No, it's still the MCM Mark IV. It shouldn't be that. Oh, we missed our burn. It's okay. So gonna burn real slow. Get that apoapsis as close to periapsis as we can. Of course, it's gonna be impossible because our highest point is gonna be the apoapsis. So, but we're gonna get those two numbers to match as best we can. I want to make sure we're in low space. And this is gonna be where this thing orbits. So 20K as close as possible. I actually have a chart too, which I'll pull up and verify. Okay. A little eccentric, but that's alright. I think we'll add another burn periapsis to circularize it further. Yep. We're gonna get that engine turned down as much as possible, yeah. Okay. So now we're here, coming into the light. We are flying right over our guy down there. And we're gonna go ahead and first we're gonna quick save. We're gonna quick save right there. That's something I always forget to do. We're gonna go to our tracking station and we're gonna take a look at something. Any minute now. There we go. Okay, we got a lot of debris. Not all of it is debris, but most of it is debris. That's with debris unchecked, so let's only take a look at the debris. That's how much debris we have flying around. And until it gets really annoying, we're not going to worry about it much. Looks like we have got a couple contracts that want us to put satellites out. So this is our latest debris there. Anything land? We have a couple things landed. Debris. Oh, this. Oh, I have deployed science also. So everything's debris. Some of it's orbiting the sun. Some of it's suborbital, like our Moon Orbiter 1. This is in flight. So eventually that's going to come down. That's our first orbit test. This is also suborbital, so this will eventually come down too. But we're not going to watch that because we'll get stuck there, I think. So now if we turn off debris, we've got a few probes, but we have ships. We're going to take a look at one of those right now. This is no longer an MCM launch vehicle. This is our MCM lander. I think it's Mark II. I don't remember, but once I look at it, I'll know. We'll know by the ladders. So this is currently on Minmus right now. We're on Minmus. Our little ship right here. The sun is down. We ejected the command pod by accident. I don't think we can... Well, we can't control or do anything. We can look at the inventory, though. We do have some EVA kits, 2 of them. Still here. We've got our little base set up. Yeah, we've got, oh, there's the module right there. So that's debris. But it's still got a electric charge, and I think it's all charging. Oh, this is what we're looking at. So eventually the lights are going to die here. I have no control, so I can't turn lights on or off, but eventually those lights are going to die. And because I don't have... That's the only thing I can look at. I can't even look at this. But this is now going to be called something else. Sorry about that, got a phone call. Alright, so yeah, we can't actually target and look at this because there's no command pod, but we can rename this. And I'm just gonna rename this, changes to lander, because that's, this is all the lander, so should just call it debris. This was the Mark 1. There will not be another Mark 1 to get launched, so that can stay the way it is. There's also, there's plenty of EVA kits here at this base. We can also take a look at here. So this is going to be the base. We'll rename. So it's not a base because this is science. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So now if we go back out to the tracking station, I just learned something. So that slider means that I can name every part of this Mark IV mission to call it, oh gosh, to rename everything properly and not have to do it when it all comes apart. And then when I put it all back together, it'll be named properly. So that's good. Good thing to know. Alright, so we want the MCM Mark IV. I'll toggle probes on. Ships are on. Deployed science is on. Flags are on. Yeah. I should have planted a flag at that spot, but I'll do it. Because I do want to land this lander as close to there as possible. So... another phone. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and fly this right now. Alright, time to get this mission done. This is taking forever. I think what I'm gonna do, now that landing is a whole deal, I'm gonna go ahead and end this stream here. We'll start up another one for landing. Thank you for watching. We're gonna have an edited version of this on display, so you don't have to. That'll be a lot shorter. You won't have to deal with all that other crap. Anyway, thank you, and peace out. Where is my stream ending? Where's the stream ending scene? Right there. Of course, it's not on KSP. Ah! Oh, that's correct. Yes, yes, yes.